Right, so we're recording this one-time docu-series on your powerlifting journey. Can you state your name, your age, and your powerlifting class?
My name is Rehad Mir. I'm 19 years old and I am now a sub 120 kilo powerlifter.
Okay, Rihad, tell me about yourself. Who are you today?
Who am I today? I am still Rehad Mir, or as people call me, Risco. I'm someone who literally just, I go in and get the job done. I lift and I come back home and I live my days.
Okay, so what would you say your interests and hobbies are outside of powerlifting?
Well, I'm interested in Formula One, football, wrestling, movies, anything got to do. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Alright, so you like that sports entertainment and also movie series and such like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start about your gym beginnings. What made you want to start going to the gym?
Because 2022 after GCSEs, there was nothing I could do. I was so bored at home. I was so down at home. It was like the most emptiest thing ever. So I thought, let's go. Well, my best mate actually brought me up into it.
Right, so when you first started the gym, did you find it difficult, hard at all?
Um, to remember, it was only a little hard, but it wasn't that bad because I had my best mate around me and he pretty much taught me everything I needed to do. And then everything else I found out by myself. So it was alright.
So, before you started the gym, did you see yourself loving it as much as you do today?
Before I started, hell no, I didn't even have it in the picture. It was not in my mind at all. It just came up one day and boom.
Tell me, Rihad, how do you feel about the gym culture?
Nowadays, it's very 50-50. See, one part of it is really positive, really nice people bringing each other, and the other side is comparison, genetic freaks, um, people who are just who get off on the wrong side of things and they decide to take their ability to be something and take advantage of it. And I think the issue with the gym culture is that people just don't want to support you. I mean, there are people who do support each other, obviously, but the other side of people are just people who just there to hate. You know what I mean?
What would you say causes that hate, and what would you say stems that hate?
Um, Purely because of the fact they can lift a certain number. I think numbers get to people. Think it creates an ego, and I think when they get to a certain number, they think they have some sort of advantage or power over someone else.
So, would you say it's an ego thing?
Yep, 100%.
Okay, so seeing as though we're covering your gym beginnings,
Mhm.
would you say you felt a lack of motivation at any point in the beginning stages?
Not in the beginning stages. The number one thing I wanted to do was be there, and I don't want to do anything but be there. I was always there, no matter what. And there was not one moment where I thought I didn't want to be there. Literally, the only thing I'd want to do is be at the gym, be training, because sixth form was so long, and I just wanted to go home and go train.
Right, so let's cover the start of your powerlifting journey. Who introduced you to powerlifting?
I'd say the first person to introduce me was my friend Peter. He was probably one of my first friends in the gym, and I saw him doing all of this. Obviously, there's a lot of people in my gym who do powerlifting, and obviously all of that around you, you're gonna start wanting to do it. But the first person I think I met who was in that field was Peter.
Okay, so what is it that Peter was doing that gained your interest or kind of piqued your interest?
Honestly, I think it was just the fact that he was able to load really heavy, and then still the competitions that he was going to. I was thinking, this looks pretty cool, and I got interested in it because I see something heavy. I think, damn, it would be nice to pick that up.
Would you say you was skeptical at first with powerlifting or like
Mm,
was you kind of in a grey area?
Not that I can remember. Obviously, there was the thought of maybe you haven't built the foundation enough yet. Because bear in mind, I started powerlifting less than a year into when I started gym.
Okay, so you've already been there as a new powerlifter, somebody who again has gained interest through seeing your friend Peter
Yeah.
lift and you got curious. What would you say to someone who has never powerlifted before but is interested in getting into it?
Have fun, go for 100%. It's a fun sport. Obviously, it's a bit draining financially, and all that. But honestly, just have fun, because it is good. It's one big game of up and downs. It's never a game of highs. It's a very big game of highs and lows. Some days are gonna be in really good. Some days you're going to be feeling absolutely low. But yeah, that's.
Did you find it difficult at first, and at any point did you feel like you wanted to quit powerlifting very early on?
I wouldn't say very early on, but it did cross my mind a bit later. But that brushed over instantly. But if we're talking about from the start I absolutely loved it. You know what I mean? It was very different to your normal sort of training, and because it just is very different to your normal standards of training. You ask someone what are you training, you have to say this, that, and that, and they'll be like, huh? Because normally you used to saying like push or like back and biceps and stuff, but you'd have people. Then you tell someone, oh yeah, I'm doing squat bench and I'm doing legs and shoulders, and they're like, huh? What? But yeah, that's just how it is.
So, what would you say was your first SBD that you could say that you're proud of?
In my honesty, there hasn't been that yet because I like to keep working until. See, here's the thing: I have a flow state system of getting to a number which I think I'm going to be happy with, then crossing off and going instantly for the next one. There hasn't been an SBD I'm particularly proud of yet because I just want more.
Let's talk about your first program. Without mentioning the name of your first coach, how did you find your first program?
Well, in all honesty, it wasn't really a coach. It was just a program I just bought. Well, my uncle bought for me online. Found it because me and my uncle we were in a pizza restaurant, and then obviously I was talking about sport of powerlifting, and he was just looking, and we found this program. But yeah, it was quite interesting, I was for the least.
Where was your first coach based again?
Well, as I said, he wasn't really a coach. He was just someone I bought a program off, but he was from California.
Okay, and due to the time zone and location differences, how did you find staying in contact with your first coach with programming, advice, and plan structure?
Honestly, there was no communication. There was like once. There was one bit of communication from the very start, and that was it.
Okay, so after getting started with Ben's evidence-based strength program, how quickly did you notice the difference between your first coach in America compared to Ben's approach with powerlifting programming?
So much easier, way easier, because you see, Ben was in my gym. He was in my goddamn city. It was a lot easier. Big notice because, well, his program's much better. My first program I bought was online from him, and even though it wasn't like proper communication, because obviously it was just a program you buy online, it was amazing because it was so much better quality compared to what I was using before.
And would you say the advice, the structure, and the discipline was there given by Ben?
Yeah, because with the first guy there was no communication. There was one email, and that was it. Whereas with Ben, whenever I needed to message him, I'd message him. You know what I mean? Even though it wasn't like an actual like coaching thing, even though it was just a program online, he was still there. You know what I mean?
From here on now, I'll refer to Ben's evidence-based strength program as EBS. With EBS, would you say you had a better foundation for powerlifting?
Oh yeah, yeah. Ever since I got with Ben, my knowledge, my understanding, my what should I say? Everything I know about powerlifting now, well, compared to then, it's like here's before and here's now. Like everything I learned off Ben has been very valuable, and honestly, the programs, the foundation, everything's much much better than when I started. But that's normal. So yeah.
Would you say you structure yourself better and have more discipline with EBS program?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm purely disciplined. There's no motivation anymore. You know what I mean? But it's just pure discipline. I know what I gotta do. I gotta get in there, get the job done, go out, and then be prepared for the next day, and go in, go out, vice versa.
Do you remember roughly what your SBD was at the end of your program with your first coach in America?
It was, I'm pretty sure it was 110, 70, and I believe, actually no, was it 70? I think it was 65, and 140.
Okay, so what is your SBD today after EBS programming?
200, 105, and 180.
That's a significant uplift. Right, let's talk about comp. When did you first compete in your first competition and what was the outcome?
22nd of September 2024 in the West Midlands Autumn Championships, and I was first place in my weight class.
Did you expect to get first place in your first run?
No, I didn't care about the numbers, and I still don't to this day. I'm there for the fun, there for the vibes, there for the experience, because that's what your first comp should be.
Okay, Rihad, set the stage for me. What were your nerves like going into your first comp? Talk to me about the day before, the morning of, and moments right before you went on stage.
The morning, I do remember I was thinking this is gonna be fun. I don't think nerves kicked in the morning because I was just thinking we're gonna have the time of our lives. The day before, packing up my bag and everything, I was thinking, how's this gonna be? But honestly, I walked in head on high, and moments before the platform, because obviously it's the first lift on the platform. You're thinking, oh, what if I fail this? What if that? What if this, that? But honestly, I had my time. I had my fun. I got out on the platform, had the time of my life. Yeah.
How do you feel that first competition helped towards your confidence moving forward? Not just the first place, but the competition as a whole.
Because it taught me about the atmosphere. It showed me everything that I needed to know about the comps. Um, Honestly, the people there are brilliant. The community is amazing, and the events are really well run by West Midlands Powerlifting. So my props always to them. And yeah, honestly, confidence wise, it was great. Obviously, you're still gonna have nerves because who doesn't have nerves? But everything's because I know the atmosphere, because I know what I'm gonna be surrounded by. It's fine.
Okay, so when was your second comp and what was the outcome?
13th of April 2025, and I was third place.
How did you feel coming third place? Was you still happy with the podium finish?
I didn't even know. I didn't know even know until I got home, and I checked the live stream. Honestly, numbers they don't. I don't think podium places or anything mean anything to me. I just want to have my fun, get my lifts done, and go home and edit the video.
What do you think you can do to improve looking forward to the next competition?
Um. Well, number one, don't get injured. Number two, try and sleep more. Number three, just have 100% intent with everything. As a good friend taught me that.
Talk to me about your injuries.
Injury. Okay, so 1 week out from my competition, 195 loaded on the bar, my last heavy single of prep, and I failed it, and all of a sudden my hamstring went, and it hurt so much. I'm pretty sure the next day it was hurting to stand or even walk, and it was so hard just walking around, or even getting up and down the stairs. And I was thinking in my head, I'm thinking, how am I supposed to compete like this when I can't even walk properly?
So you've competed in two competitions so far. When's the next?
We're gonna have to find out soon. I can't give you the actual date right now, but I'm telling you, it will be sometime this year.
Right, so let's talk about powerlifting today. How long have you been powerlifting for? As of today, can you give me a years and months if you can?
It has been exactly 2 years. Not exactly, but in this month, 2 years.
What would you say it's like making new friends within the powerlifting space, and how would you best describe the powerlifting community?
Oh, I love it. The people I've made, are, you're not even in the gym, just in the West Midlands powerlifting like area, or even just not even West Midlands, all over the country, anywhere in powerlifting. It's amazing. The people you meet, it's really nice to meet some people, and honestly, I love the community because everyone's always there for each other. You don't even know someone and you'll root for them. You know what I mean? That's just how it is, and in regards to like nationally, not even just regionally, nationally, you'll find people like, for example, on Instagram or something, and you'll start following them and you actually become quite good friends with them. And honestly, I think the friends you make in powerlifting is great.
This might be a toughest question yet, considering how many friends and
Mm.
inspirations you have within the powerlifting space. Who has been your inspiration throughout your time powerlifting? It could be friends, influencers, or anyone who's helped you along the way. In no particular order, can you give me three names that inspired you?
Free.
Yeah, that inspired you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say number one, Jesus Oliveras, and number two, I'm gonna say Russ Wall or Russell Orhe, and number three, I am going to say my coach Ben.
Okay, so I know you said you don't really care about numbers, but what SPD are you aiming for in 2026?
2026. I'd like to get maybe I'd like to get maybe 240 on the squat. I'd like to get 140 on bench. Actually, not 130 on bench. So let's make it more relatively similar. And deadlift, I'd like to get to 200 or 210.
Okay, so what are your powerlifting goals for 2026?
Powerlifting goals for 2026. Lower weight class, better numbers, being a better lifter, and in general, I'd say just just think about the lifting. Don't care about anything else. Just lift.
Okay, so what are your goals outside of powerlifting for 2026?
Outside, do well in my second year of uni. Um, I'd say be better than yesterday, as I like to say. And just enjoy yourself, because who knows what's to come next year. You know what I mean? So just enjoy yourself and live.
Okay, Rihad, let's close this out. What advice would you give to new powerlifters who are interested in competing in the near future?
Oh, I'd give so much advice, but it's gonna sound so simple, but it's gonna be a lot. Number one, treat it like a normal day in the gym, just with more people watching. Um, Number two, I'd say have your fun. If it's your first competition, you don't need to cut any weight class. You don't need to care about your numbers. You don't need to care about dot score, all of that stuff. Honestly, just have your fun, gain your experience, and make your friends. If you're new to powerlifting in general, not even just comps, I'd say beforehand try and build a bit of a foundation for yourself. Um, get to know the basics of the gym before you go in, and know what you're doing. And I'm gonna say this because I wish I did this, but find yourself a good program or a good coach, and when you're starting, because things can be so challenging and things can be so complex at the start. But if you find the right people or have the right hands, you will excel. So honestly, first comp, enjoy yourself, get the experience in, come back for the next time, and put on a show.
Where can everyone find you? Let me know so I can put all your social medias on screen now.
Okay, so Instagram is Risco Lifts, my TikTok is Riscobar, and I believe that is it.
Alright, thank you, Rihad.
All good, man.